the geomorphology of the plains. So whenever we talk about the plains, we think that the plains are monotonous. Even now also when I was explaining the plains introduction, I said they are full of sand. Right, they are made up of the depositions brought by the rivers. So sandy depositions. So we think that the plains are monotonous. Same morphology, they does not have any variation. But in reality, the geomorphological variations are seen in the plains, and the plains are differentiated into 4 divisions. Okay, so let us suppose the plains, they are divided into 4 divisions. Number 1, the Babbar zone. Right. So if you look at the plains, guys, right, the northern sides of the plains, or to the northern extent of the plains, we are having the Shivaliks. Remember, to the south of Shivaliks, we are having the northern plains. Okay, so the northern sides of the plains are perfectly demarcated because you are having the series, continuous extensions of Shivaliks, right? So the Babbar zone is said to be the Piedmont zone, right? The zone which is present at the base of the mountain is called as the Piedmont zone. Okay, so this is general zone, right? I will be drawing the structure here. These are the Shivaliks, right? Here you are having the Babbar zone. At the base of the Shivaliks, you are having the Babbar zone. Hence, we are calling it as the Piedmont zone. Right? So, at the base of the mountain, all the unconsolidated gravels and the boulders which are present, they all fell down, guys, from the Shivaliks, and they have created this zone. So, obviously, this zone will be consisting of boulders and gravels. So, it will be full of the boulders, rocks, full of rocks and gravels. Okay. So, one of the prelims question was asked. Right. In which of the following areas the streams of Himalayas disappear? So, in the Babbar zone, all the streams of Himalayas disappear, guys, because from the mountains the rivers are entering or the streams are entering here. Right. So, when the streams are entering from the mountains, what they do? They will be flowing below the rocks. They will not be flowing above the rocks. So, bigger rocks are there. So, what happened? If you look from the top, you will be seeing only the rocks, but the water will be flowing from below the rocks. So, the streams disappear. This was our prelims question, guys. Which of the following areas or the zones the streams disappear? That is the Babbar zone. Babbar zone is the Piedmont zone present to the south of Himalayas or the Shivaliks, and it consists of boulders and gravels. Okay. Next comes Terai zone. Last before here, this Terai term was asked in 2-marker. Okay, simply in the 2-marker questions of our mains, they have given Terai. They have not written zone. Simply they have written Terai. So Terai is a zone present to the south of Babbar, right? And it is said to be a marshy tract. Marshy. Okay, why it is called as a marshy tract? Because all the streams which are disappearing here and they are flowing through below the rocks, guys. When they come out, what happen? Wherever the possibilities are there, right, the water will be coming out. So entry point may be only single, but the exit point will be several. Exit points will be several, because suppose this is the classroom, all the chairs are there, I am throwing the water from here with bucket, but the water coming out will be from all the areas. So to the south of the Piedmont zone, the waters are emerging out from various places and making this entire area to be marshy. Chikkal. Right guys? Full of marsh. Okay. So this again this was our prelims question. Which of the following areas or the zones the streams reappear? So Tera is the area where the streams reappear. Here the streams disappear. Here reappear. Okay. So when the marshes are present, right, full of water logged conditions guys. Marsh means water logged conditions. If you remember during the rains, right, in your area or in your colony where you are present, if the water gets stagnated, what the people will be doing guys? They will be channelizing the water to the low-lying areas, right? So they will create small channels so that all the water will be flowing out. The same thing has happened here in the Terai zone, right? Because the slope is this side. Okay, so here the Terai is present. So all the water which are coming here, they have made this entire area marshy. So they have dug the channel here. So when they have dug the channel here, automatically what happened? When the channel is dug here, so when the channel is dug, the water will be entering into this channel and these areas will become dry. Okay, so the water started draining into these channels and they were drained out. So automatically these areas become dry now. Okay, when these areas have become dry, they started using this area for agriculture. Okay, so most of the Terai area has been reclaimed for agricultural purpose. Okay, most of the Terai areas have been reclaimed for agricultural purpose. This was also prelims question guys. Okay, then third comes Bhangar. And this is said to be the zone of older alluvium. This is also alluvial soil, but it is old alluvial soil. Bhangar, zone of older alluvium. Right? And in this older alluvium, you are having some embedded rocks guys, calcareous rocks called as kankar. Lots of calcareous rocks are embedded in this older alluvium. So alluvium is sand. So the entire stretch is sandy, right? But here and there you will be finding the calcium carbonated or calcareous rocks which are called as the kankar. Right? And the fourth division is the Kadar. It is a zone of new alluvium. It is a zone of new alluvium. So this is the Bhangar, right? Here and there you are having the kankars, and this is the Kadar, right? So below the Kadar you are having the river flowing guys. Ganga is flowing here. So this is the river Ganga flowing guys. Right. So what's happening? Whenever there are floods in Ganga, right, the Kadar region gets inundated. So every time the new alluvium is getting deposited in the Kadar region. So out of all these areas of northern plains, which is most fertile? The Kadar region, because the natural replenishment of alluvium is taking place in the Kadar region. Okay, so it represents the flooding zone of the northern plains. Okay, so one of the important term is used for this Bangar area, because the Bangar area is present above the floodplain. If this is the floodplain, right, Kadar, the Bangar is present a little bit at higher places. So that place which is above the floodplain, any place which is above the floodplain is called as interflue. Interflue, F-L-U-E-V-E. Right? So the Bangar represents the interflue of the river Ganga. So this is said to be the geomorphology. Right? So generally the people will be thinking that the northern plains are monotonous. They are similar in every aspects, but they are not similar. They are having their own geomorphological variations, and they are to be divided into 4 divisions: the Babar, the Terai, the Bangar, and the Kadar. So this is said to be the geomorphology of the plains. Yeah. Next we will be going with the regional division of the Great Plains. Regional division of the Great Plains. Yeah, these are the Great Plains of India. Okay, here you are having Kashmir, right? Like this. Here Nepal, right? Here you are having Sikkim. Okay, so these are the Great Plains of northern India. So regionally, the Great Plains of northern India are divided into 3 divisions. Number 1, the Rajasthan Plains. Number 2, the Punjab Haryana Plains. Number 3, the Ganga Plains. Right? Then the Brahmaputra Plains or Assam Plains. Okay, so regionally the Great Plains are divided into 4. The Rajasthan Plains, the Punjab Haryana Plains, right, the Ganga Plains and the Brahmaputra Plains. Right. So first we will be talking about the Rajasthan Plains. Right. The total area occupied by the Rajasthan Plains is 1.75 lakh square kilometers. The total area occupied by the Rajasthan Plains is 1.75 lakh square kilometers. And most of the Rajasthan Plains are consisting of the Thar Desert. Okay, the Thar Desert. Right. Within our Rajasthan Plains, the desert proper is called as Marustali. Marustal. Okay, actually the Marustal is the place where if you are going there you will be dying, guys. There is a reason because of it is said to be the Marustal, because it will be present in the center of the desert where you will not find anything except sometimes the polished rocks. Okay, so the desert proper is called as the Marustal, right? And within the desert you will be having the sand dunes, right? The shifting sand dunes will be shifting, guys. When we talk about the desert desert landforms, I will be explaining how the sand dunes shift, right? So if this is the sand dune, right? It will be shifting its position, guys. It will be moving like this because of the movement of the air, right? So the shifting sand dunes in Rajasthan desert are called as Drians. 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 Right? So these are the shifting sand dunes. Right? Other than the sand dunes, you will be having the sandy plains. The entire area is made up of sandy plain. Right? The sandy plains are called as the Thali. The sandy plains are called as the Thalis.